Last year, Scott and I interviewed Chuck Fields, owner of the Quack Shack, which is a duck hunting lodge located on Lake Kissimmee. We asked him how the duck season went, and here's what he said.
Effectively, the ducks are no longer on Lake Kissimmee, nor are they on Lake Hatchenhaw, nor are they on Lake Cypress. Somewhere along the line, somebody decided that the best way to deal with Lake Kissimmee was to dump millions and millions of gallons of herbicide on it. And ever since this intense spray program has begun, they have basically killed the lake, certainly for duck hunting. And from talking to fishermen, whether it be speckled perch or bass fishermen, that's all going downhill too. It's dead, it's gone, and it's all because of spraying. Until they stop spraying, do a drawdown on the lake like they did years ago, scrape this crud out of here, and then start over and never ever allow another drop of spray material to hit this lake. If they have to control weeds, control them mechanically. But this lake is effectively dead for duck hunting. And I see the same thing in your future because I know that you enjoy speckled perch fishing, and you know is better than me, that's not a good deal either right now.
What a heartbreaking interview to watch. Unfortunately, everything that Chuck said was true. So today, I'm going to stay on the subject of ducks, and I'm going to take you to a pond that actually does have some birds on it. The day I was there, I counted over 50 birds. That doesn't sound like a lot, but considering that this pond is only about 10 acres, that means that this pond has about 5 birds per acre. Compare that to Lake Kissimmee, which is 35,000 acres. At 5 birds per acre, that would mean Lake Kissimmee should have about 175,000 birds. It should be obvious to you why these birds are on this pond. It is because it is covered with at least 30% submerged vegetation, which is what most knowledgeable scientists say you need for a healthy ecosystem. Unfortunately, our FWC doesn't listen to knowledgeable scientists. Instead, they listen to chemical paid-for science that tells them that hydrilla is bad and needs to be eradicated. Just look at the water clarity in this pond. There are some places that you can actually see the bottom. Hydrilla is Mother Nature's best filter. It is even better than our native plants. That is why these invasive plants are taking over. The FWC will tell you that they need to kill the hydrilla so that native submerged vegetation like eelgrass can grow back. But this is not what's happening. The native grasses like eelgrass is a weaker plant. It has trouble growing in mud bottoms, and it needs a lot more light to grow in, so the muddy water that we have in our lakes blocks out too much light. Hydrilla, on the other hand, is a strong, fast-growing plant that is much more dense than eelgrass, so it can filter more efficiently. So why in the world would you kill the better plant off so that a weaker, less effective plant can take its place? I say let it take over. It is clearly the better plant, and this pond is living proof. This body of water is not located in a pristine state or national park. It also isn't part of a wildlife reserve. Instead, it is a man-made pond, and it was built for the sole purpose of removing contaminants like gasoline, oil, and trash. It also is not one of a kind either. As a matter of fact, there are thousands of ponds just like this all over the state of Florida. Chances are there was one within a few miles of your front door. So if you haven't guessed by now, this is a drainage pond for a highway exit. It was designed to take all of the runoff from the cars on the bridge and the roads and clean it up. This exit is the Palm Bay exit on I-95. Let's take a quick flight over to another pond just a few hundred yards away. We are going to fly over this one with a fountain. It is still part of the highway intersection. The one that I want to show you is the next one. As we approach, notice the color of the water. If you live here in Florida, this color should be familiar to you. That's right, it's blue-green algae. Let's turn back and take a look at it from another angle. With these ponds so close together, why in the world is one so much greener than the other? If you've been following me for any length of time, you already know why. Take a look at the dead cattails and other emergent plants on this entire perimeter of this pond. This pond belongs to an apartment development and has recently been sprayed with herbicides. This is standard practice in every development in Florida. Humans have been programmed to hate emergent plants like cattails and spikerush. Even the shoreline away from the buildings was sprayed. I did not see one single duck on this pond because there isn't anything for them to eat. They are all a stone's throw away on the pond that hasn't been sprayed. So if you take your baby out for a stroll and you don't mind the two of you breathing in toxins from this algae, this would be an ideal place to raise your child. Personally, I think it's repulsive. By the way, the reason that developments put fountains in these sprayed ponds, it's not to look good, it's to prevent fish kills because all the chemicals in the algae suck all the oxygen out of the water. So my question to you is, do you want your lakes sprayed? Because this is what they will look like. Or do you want your lakes left alone and full of hydrilla? I can tell you what the ducks would like you to do. This is just one more video showing that spraying herbicides causes algal blooms. If you live in a development and you are tired of being poisoned with chemicals or breathing in toxins from algae, I suggest that you demand that your property manager quit poisoning you with your own dollars.